Hey guys, welcome back. For today's video, I have an E.L.F. one brand makeup tutorial. So I actually did an E.L.F. one brand tutorial I think like 2 years ago, and I've been getting so many requests lately to do an updated version, so here it is. I had a lot of hits and a lot of misses. I would say it's kind of like 50-50. You guys will have to see what those were in the video. I will leave a link in the description box to each and every single one brand tutorial that I've done because I've done quite a few, but let me know the one that you want me to do next, high-end, drugstore, whatever you guys want. Just leave it down below in the comments. I hope you enjoy, and let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's get started on the brows first. So obviously the first thing that I got is by E.L.F. Everything, I'm gonna try not to say E.L.F. this, E.L.F. that, because it's an E.L.F. one brand tutorial, but I got the brow pencil in the shade Neutral Brown, and this had really good reviews online, and I want to say this was like $2. It was super affordable, so I'm like, let's give it a try. So it does come with a spoolie on the end, which I think is really convenient. And this is actually like a really fat brow pencil. Like usually they're really thin, but this one's really big. So it has a nice pointed tip, which I actually really appreciate. So lately what I've been doing with my brows is just outlining them and then filling them in with a pomade. Oh wow, this is actually really nice. It doesn't feel too creamy or like waxy. You know how some brow pencils, they're just like too creamy to the point where it kind of just looks like you're applying crown to your face. This one does not feel like that at all. It feels really nice, and I actually really like this big spoolie on the end. I like it so far. I think it's a really awesome brow pencil. I think the color matches me really good. Like I said, nowadays I never use brow pencils to fill in my brows anymore. I typically will just use a pomade, but I really like this for outlining them because it was super easy. Then I got the Lock-On Liner and Brow Cream in the shade Medium Brown, and I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the rest of my brows with this. Again, this also had really good reviews. I really honestly try not to look at the reviews too much because it's usually hard sometimes to buy makeup online when it comes to just looking at the reviews, because everybody has different opinions when it comes to makeup. I actually purchased another E.L.F. eyebrow duo brush. I used to use this brush all the time, and I really like it. I think I just lost it or something for a while and I started using a different one, but I'm going to use it again today. It's just a little tiny brush that comes with a spoolie on the end. It's just angled. Oh, this is going to be really dark. But wow, this is very creamy. I'm going to go in with the HD Lifting Concealer in the shade Light, just to go ahead and clean up the brows a little bit. I've definitely used this concealer in the past, so what I'm going to do is just take a really tiny brush. This one's from Vanity Planet, and I'm just going to dip onto the wand and then just apply this right underneath here. This actually isn't even that light. This concealer, I mean, it's really creamy. It's just not something that I like for my brows. I prefer like a thicker formula to really carve out the brows, but it'll work. Then I have the E.L.F. Teal Sponge that I'm going to try out today. It doesn't feel super bouncy, like it's squishy, but it's a little like firm. And I did get it like damp underneath the sink, so it's okay. I think I prefer the L'Oreal one better, honestly, because it's just a little bit more squishy than this one, but it works. It gets the job done so far. I haven't obviously used it for foundation yet. So I don't think the brows look the best. I'm not, like I said, a huge fan of the brow pomade. Maybe I have to just keep playing around with it. I don't know. I know that they look crazy right now, but the show must go on. So what I'm going to do is just take this E.L.F. HD Lifting Concealer and just use it as a primer. I typically always use the NYX eyeshadow base or just concealer, because concealer works just as good if you ever need an eyeshadow primer. As long as you set it with a powder, you should be good. Okay, so I picked up the Nude Rose Gold eyeshadow palette. I actually wanted a different palette, and it's always sold out. I think you guys know the palette I'm talking about. It's just like this beautiful warm neutrals palette, and it has like pops of like orange and purple in it, and I wanted that so bad, and I've been wanting that actually for like forever, and it's always sold out. So we're just gonna have to work with the other neutrals that they got. Packaging is really nice because it's super sleek. I love E.L.F's packaging. This is pretty. This actually looks like a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked palette. Sorry that I'm blinding you, but that's what the colors look like. So I'm gonna start off with the shade right here, which is the creamy color, just to go ahead and set my concealer on my lid. And I'm gonna use my favorite brush to do so, the E.L.F Flawless Concealer brush. Okay, that color seems already really pigmented. Just a nice color to set. I actually picked up 2 eyeshadow palettes. I picked up this one, and then I also got the Prism eyeshadow palette in the shade Sunset, which I thought was really pretty, like for summer. Maybe I could do like a pop of color on the lower lashes or on the lid or something. I don't know. I know this is an all shimmer palette, so I really wanted like some pops of color as well. This is pretty. So that is what the Sunset palette looks like. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right in here, and I'm just gonna be taking this on a Mally Beauty blending brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that right into my crease. And actually, let's zoom in a little bit. I used to love cool tones, and I don't know what happened, but I just transitioned into warm tones. I used to like never like warm tone colors. Like I would wear them, but like cool tones were my ish. This color seemed a little, I don't know if you can see, it's a little chalky, it's a little patchy, it's not amazing. I'm just not seeing like a ton of pigment. And the pigment that I do get, I feel like it's not the greatest. Even though this color is shimmery, I'm just gonna pick up this color right here on the end and just apply that right on the outer part of my crease, because I want something darker, and this palette doesn't really seem to have that for me. You can barely see like the glitter that it has in it. So I'm using a Sigma E25 blending brush. I guess we're gonna do a cool tone look today. I honestly was not even planning on doing something cool tone, but the color blends decently. I think for the price of the palette, you can't really ask for a whole lot. I'm gonna use this shade right here, and I'm just gonna apply that all over my lid. I'm gonna use this flat shader brush. This one's from Vanity Planet, because it's a really nice like packer brush. And I'm just gonna actually mix that with a little bit of this like pinky-ish color. I'm gonna see how it is just on its own without any spray. I mean, the sheen is there, it's just very, very light. I don't know if you can even see it on camera. I'm gonna take the Makeup Mist and Set Clear Setting Spray just to spray my brush. And I'm gonna be using this later on my face, because I've heard really great things about this setting spray. That's what the bottle looks like. This was only $3, like it's crazy. So again, I'm gonna just mix those 2 colors. Definitely shows up a little bit. I like mixing the 2. It creates like a really pretty like purpley color, like especially mixed with these other shades. I think that's pretty. The only thing I'm not crazy about the palette is the fact that it doesn't come with like a really good transition color. I mean, the colors that are in here and that are matte aren't super dark, and they're not like really pigmented when you actually do apply them. Picking up this color right here, the one that I was using earlier as my transition shade, I'm just going to be applying that in the crease just to further blend everything out. Trying not to blind you with this. I'm going to be using this shade right here, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone with it. It's like not that pigmented. I mean, it's showing up, it's just not like boom. I'm going to just go ahead and take this Intense Ink eyeliner in the shade Blackest Black just to, I guess, do my wing. This is actually really like fat. Like, do you see that? It looks like a marker. Literally, it looks like a marker, like a Sharpie. Like I'm gonna write, hey. You guys remember on Disney Channel when he'd be like, I'm Juicy Jazz and you're watching Disney Channel? I don't know. Okay, I'm so lame. All right, let's go ahead and just swatch it first of all. Okay, that's really nice. It's just so like fat that I'm like scared. definitely is thick. I used to do my eyeliner like a year ago, like so thick and dramatic. I don't like my eyeliner like that anymore, so this is very dramatic. I don't recommend pulling on your eye like this at all. I know it causes wrinkles. It's just so hard for me not to. Definitely doable, and it does come out a little thick, I feel like, just because the pen naturally is so thick. I'm going to just apply a few coats of mascara. This is the volumizing and defining mascara. This one's in the shade Jet Black. That's what the mascara looks like. Just like a traditional mascara. This was like $2. I don't really judge a mascara anymore by my lashes because my lashes suck. I always can tell if it's like going to be good by my bottom lashes. I'm using the Flirtatious Luxe Lash Kit. They look really pretty and like wispy. I don't know, I really like the style. So I'm going to pop these on and then I'll be right back. Lashes are on. They are honestly a little too natural for me or for this look in general. Like if I were to wear these lashes, I'd probably just wear them like on their own without any like dramatic eyeshadow or eyeliner, just because they are very natural in my opinion. I know these are like super dramatic for some people, but just my personal opinion. Okay, I got the Poreless Face Primer, and I've actually heard really good things about this. I really actually love this packaging. I think it's super, super cute. Very sleek, very nice. And I got the big bottle because I was like, why not? Might as well. It looks like a lotion consistency. Feels like a lotion. Actually, it has like a silicone feel to it. Oh wow, this feels nice. That really smoothed out my skin like really nicely. So I got a foundation. I actually got two shades because I didn't know which one I would be. So I got Caramel and Nude, and this is the oil-free SPF 15 sunscreen flawless finish foundation. So I guess I'm gonna mix the two shades just because, like I said, I don't really know if this is going to match me. The packaging is really cute. This is actually a lot smaller than I expected though. It's very tiny. But I like how it's like this frosted glass packaging with a pump. I love it. Kind of looks like the Estee Lauder Double Wear, like the packaging. There it goes. Okay. So I don't know if this is gonna match me. I might have to mix the other shade in just because like I'm tan, but my tan's not fresh. Okay, so I mixed the two colors, again, Nude and Caramel. Okay, so just applying it on my face, it feels really like creamy. Like it doesn't feel super thick. I'm gonna use the little teal sponge that I was using earlier because I want to see how it blends out the foundation. It's blending it out nice. The only thing is, like I said, the sponge is not that bouncy. It's a little hard, but the foundation seems really, really nice. Still looks and feels like my skin. Add a little bit more because this is where I have some acne scarring. I feel like this foundation is definitely a medium to full coverage, which I love, like right off the bat. I love like medium to full coverage foundations that still look like skin. Okay, and I think mixing these two colors, Caramel and Nude, for me worked out really good. I think it matches really well. So then for concealer, I'm using the E.L.F HD Lifting Concealer, the one that I was using earlier, again in the shade Light. I used this concealer before. I don't really remember, honestly, my thoughts on it. I didn't continue to use it for a long period of time, so obviously it wasn't like my favorite right off the bat. So let's see how it is again. I smell everything. Blends out nice, the concealer, but it's definitely not full coverage like whatsoever. You can still see darkness peeking through. In my opinion, this is a concealer maybe if you're just like on the go, you want something super natural. The coverage is definitely light. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more so that I'm not scaring you guys with my dark circles. I think with concealer, it's all just like personal preference, like what you're looking for. If you're looking for a really lightweight concealer, this is gonna be great for you. If you're looking for something heavy duty, I wouldn't recommend. Then I got the HD powder. This one is in the shade Sheer. And it actually came with a brush, which I thought was a really good deal. I believe it was like $10 for both of these together. So that's what it looks like, the little set. I really like how e.l.f. does that. They have a lot of like sets on their website. I think that's really helpful, and it's just convenient to kind of have everything like together in one. So I got the pointed powder brush, and e.l.f. brushes are amazing from the drugstore. They're super affordable. They're great quality. I have a ton of them, and this brush seems really, really nice. Packaging is gorgeous. I love the sleek packaging. You see that? It's beautiful. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour the powder directly onto the lid. I'm actually gonna use my sponge just to apply this underneath, because I usually prefer powder underneath my eyes with a sponge like this. It's like an invisible powder. Like, it looks like you set your face, but there's like no powder there. I'm gonna do this to the other areas as well. I really like that so far. I think that's flawless. It feels so soft and smooth, like, oh my goodness. So this is the HD powder, the loose version, and my favorite holy grail pressed powder for the face to set my foundation is the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder. So I'm not sure if this is like literally the same exact thing, just like in a compact, but this is, in my opinion, a dupe for the E.L.F. Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores pressed powder. I love that one, but this is a great alternative. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with this, just like my cheeks and stuff. I'm gonna use the pointed powder brush that came with that other powder. This powder is awesome. I love it. It makes your skin look so porcelain, so soft. I love it. I picked up the bronzer palette. This one is in the shade Deep Bronzer. And I love the e.l.f. blush palettes. So I thought this would be really, really good, just like in a bronzer form. The packaging of these, gorgeous. Again, I love just how sleek and simple e.l.f.'s packaging is, because like they always say less is more, and I think in e.l.f.'s case, it just works so good. Like, I love it. Ooh, this looks nice. Just like a nice bronzer palette. So I see two mattes. One with a sheen and one has glitter in it. So I'm gonna use the darkest color right here, and I'm gonna mix it with this light color, these two, to kind of balance them out, to give my skin a little bit of color back. I'm gonna use a Morphe R2 brush. It's showing up, it's just not super dark. You have to kind of build it up a little bit. But it works, actually. I love these e.l.f. palettes, because I have another contour one that I really, really like. It's just a little too light for me right now because I'm tan. I'm going to use a Morphe M437 just to precisely apply the bronzer a little bit more to my cheeks, like right here. For blush, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. blush palette. This one is just in the shade Light. I've raved about these for so long on my channel. I think if you don't have them, you're missing out. The light one and the dark one is really, really good. They're both amazing. I'm just using this one because the colors are a little bit more bright for summer. In my opinion, the dark one is best for me personally in the fall, because the colors are a little bit darker. But this is just what the palette looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and just mix pretty much all of the shades in the palette. I'm using a Sigma Duo Fiber F50 brush. Literally, I just swirl my brush in here and just apply the colors to my cheeks. This palette is great because you can like customize your shades. You can just focus on one shade, like whatever you want to do. It's just a really great high quality palette that's like $6. Just gives your cheeks like a really nice wash of color, but just be careful because it is pigmented, so you have to like tap off your brush, that way it doesn't come off like clown cheeks. For a glow, I picked up the baked highlighter in the shade Apricot Glow. I actually really like the baked highlighters. I've tried a couple, 2 of them, and I didn't like them at first because they weren't that pigmented, but I noticed that once I scraped off the top, bam, super pigmented. So you do have to scrape off the top of these, I feel like, to get like them to be super, super intense. So that's what I'm gonna do. I literally am gonna take my nail and just scrape the top off. Of course, I'm gonna use my Morphe M501. Such a pretty gold color. Oh my goodness, I love it. The gold doesn't really go with the eyes that I have on today. Like, I imagined me doing a warm smoky eye today, but that's okay. Do you see how pretty that is? It's literally the perfect highlighter for summer because it's like gold. But it's not too yellowy on the skin. Like, it looks gold, but it's not gonna look like a yellow strip on your cheeks. Like, it's so pretty. All right, I'm gonna pick up my two new favorite eye brushes. The first one is the M432 by Morphe, and I'm gonna go into the Prism palette, and I'm gonna be using the purple shade right on the end, and I'm just gonna be applying that directly to my lower lashes. It's not a really vibrant purple. It's more of a subtle purple. And then I'm gonna use the Morphe E36 with that same purple, and I'm gonna really smudge that out. I am gonna apply some bottom lash mascara, but I got the Beautifully Bare Sheer Tint Brow Gel. So I wanted to test this out. The packaging is cute. It's just like sleek and silver. I like that. Oh my gosh, this is really tiny. Do you see how tiny that is? I'm not crazy about the brush. I mean, I know it's meant to be small, like to really be precise with your brows, but I'm not a huge fan of the brush, just like first impression. I'm gonna use the waterproof gel pencil liner in the shade Black. I wish they had different colors. They had, I believe, just black and brown. So I'm gonna just go ahead and line my waterline. I love the packaging of this just right off the bat. Look how black that is. And just like swatching it, it's so creamy. It's not as creamy as I would like it to be on my waterline, but it's okay. Okay, for the lips, I first got the lip liner and blending brush, lip liner, in the shade Natural. This is what it looks like. Okay, this is nice. It's like really thick, like thicker than most lip liners. Comes with this little brush tip, which I think is cool, like if you want to smudge like your lips out. Oh wow, this is so creamy. It's very pink, more pink than what I like, but it's pretty. I guess we're just gonna do lip liner and gloss for today. I got the Plumping lip gloss in the shade Peach Bellini. Again, the packaging is gorgeous. I love it. Oh, it's pretty. It's like a really, really super pale, almost like clear gloss. I add like 20 layers of gloss. Oh my gosh, it feels a little bit minty. Kind of feels like the Buxom lip glosses. You guys know what I'm talking about, the ones that are like minty. This is literally what this reminds me of. Oh my gosh, I can definitely feel like the tingling sensation right now. Like they don't burn, but I can feel like the tingliness on my lips from the lip gloss because it is like a plumping lip gloss. Okay, the last and final thing I'm gonna do is just spritz my face with the Makeup Mist and Set setting spray. Alright guys, so that completes this look. So let's talk about some hits and misses. As you saw, I pretty much had a lot of like, I would say 50-50. Like I had some hits, I had some misses. Honestly, I like every single thing that I used minus the eyes and the brows. The only brow product that I really liked was the brow pencil. I'm going to continue to use this. But everything else like the pomade and the clear brow gel, these two weren't my absolute favorite. The gel, I'm just not a fan of the brush. And then with the gel pomade, I feel like it's a little bit too creamy. It makes my brows look almost like a mousse, like almost like they're just melting off. So it's not really my favorite. I know how I like my brows and today I'm not loving them. So these two products, I'm gonna have to pass on them. The eyeshadow palettes honestly weren't my favorite. I mean, they're doable, they work. I think if you're a beginner, they're not completely awful, but there's definitely other palettes that I prefer, high-end or drugstore, that are more pigmented, that are just better overall. Like I said, it's not awful, especially for the price. It's not an awful palette. It's just not my favorite, and it's definitely not something that I see myself reaching for on a daily basis. The eyeliners also weren't amazing. I mean, the black eyeliner was pretty good, like for the price. It wasn't as creamy as I thought it was gonna be, but it works. So the eyeliner is okay. This eyeliner that looks like a marker, I feel like it works if you like really thick eyeliner. If you like your eyeliner to be really thin, I would pass on this because you don't have a ton of control just because of how fat and thick the brush is. So just keep that in mind. It's a good eyeliner. I just wish it was a little bit skinnier. This mascara is not volumizing at all. Like you can see, you can barely see anything on my lower lashes. Like this is like nothing in here. So definitely gonna have to pass on that. The lashes are pretty, not for this look though. I would definitely use these lashes again, maybe for a more natural look where I'm not wearing a ton of eyeshadow or a ton of eyeliner, just because again, they're so natural. So yeah, all in all, I'm not really crazy about the eyes. I actually don't even really like this eye makeup, and the eyebrows, I'm not obsessed with them either. Everything else I really, really liked for the most part. The foundation, the primer, the setting spray, everything works really good. I'm going to continue to use it, and I'm sure you guys will hear me talk about those products in upcoming favorites videos, makeup tutorials, and I'll keep reviewing them as I go for you guys. So yeah, that officially completes this long video. I'm sure it's probably already like 20 minutes by now because I talk so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in a few days in my next video. Bye!